Hello. Welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And I thought I'd jump on today and just do a little bonus episode. And the reason for that is because I've had a bit of a week myself, and it just made me stop and think. And I had a day this week where I literally just gave myself a day of nothing. And it's not often I do that. And it's not often us as single parents do that. And that's why I thought I'd jump on and just give you all that reminder that sometimes we all need that little nudge on the shoulder to say, hey, it's okay to stop. And it's okay to say, I'm overwhelmed and exhausted. And me personally, I got to that point this week. I've just got so much on my plate. There's so much I'm trying to do. On top of that, I got sick again in this last few days, and I was just exhausted. And there was a day this week where I had so much to do. I had so many emails I needed to follow up on. I had people I needed to contact. I had things I needed to do. But I said to myself, I am stopping. I need a break. And this is one thing that quite often so many of us forget to do, especially as single parents, because you just don't have time to stop. And it's just not physically possible to do that. But you need to find a way to make that happen, because when you're doing so much, and I know sometimes it's easier said than done. You might be thinking, well, fuck, Leanne, that's great for you. You can just do that. You run your own business. And I get it when you're an employee or when you've got so much on, you've got kids' errands, you've got all this to do. You get to a point where you are mentally and emotionally exhausted. And that is the one thing so many of you forget when you're single parenting. It's not just the workload. It is the mental and emotional load that you carry with it. You don't have people to go home to at the end of the day and talk to about your problems and talk to about things and just unwind and vent to, because sometimes that's all you need at the end of the day, just someone to vent to, just getting it off your chest. Because really, talking about things and getting things off your chest is one of the best ways that can help you make you feel better. But quite often when you're a single parent, you don't have that option. You don't have someone just to talk to and to get it off your chest to. Now, some of you may have family close by, some of you may have some good friends that you can rely on for that. But I would have to say there's a large portion of you that probably don't. They just go home at the end of the day and you just suck it up and you keep going. And this is the thing with today's culture. We live in a hustle culture where we're constantly doing. And we just forget what we're actually doing and why we keep going for. What is it that you're working so hard for? And I get it. You've got to pay bills. You've got to have a roof over your head. You need to pay your car bills. I understand that. But when you're in this constant mode of dog paddling, which is how you get when you're just exhausted and you're just running on empty and you're just doing what you can, and you just think to yourself, I can't stop. I've got to keep going. Here's a question for you. Why do you have to keep going, and why do you think that you can't stop? And it's very much ingrained in our heads today that you're not successful unless you keep hustling, unless you keep going. If you want something in life, you've got to keep going. Yes, you do. But in that process, you need to look after you. It's like I always say to myself, those people that work really hard, and you've got some families out there that rarely even see their kids because they're working so hard to pay their bills. And that's great. They're doing the right thing to stay afloat and to provide a nice life for their kids. But then I always sometimes look and thinking, you're working so hard to provide for the kids, but you're not there to enjoy that time with them. It kind of contradicts it in a way, doesn't it? And yes, I'm not shaming anyone for doing that, because sometimes it's just what you've got to do to get by. And it's just like when things go wrong in your world or in life and something hasn't gone the way you expected it to. For example, when you first become a single parent and when you've gone to a breakup, maybe you've lost your job, maybe something has happened. And instead of actually sitting there and being quiet with it, Just allowing yourself time off to step back from everything and just really process what's just happened. So many people do the opposite. Okay, I've got to find something else. I've got to quickly find a new job, or I've got to quickly find a new partner, or I've got to quickly do this, or I've got to quickly do that. It's okay for things to go wrong in our life. This is just what the world is. This is just what life is all about. There is that constant ebb and flow. It's constant up and down. Your life is never going to be all uphill. It would be great if it was, but that's not how life works. We're going to have our down days. And even the most amazing people out there that you may look up to, and they may be your role model, I guarantee you now they have shit days. And it's not about whether they have shit days, or maybe they don't talk about it, or maybe they don't show it, or maybe you don't see it. But the thing is, quite often those people know how to handle those shit days. They don't let it beat them up. You can have a shit day and just let it consume you. Or you can have a shit day and you can step back and think to yourself, okay, what's happening here? What is happening right now? I don't like it. I'm not comfortable with it. Sit there and listen to what your body is telling you. Maybe it's telling you, hey, you know what? You need to stop. You need a break. You're wearing yourself out. Maybe it's your body telling you you need to start putting your focus on something else. But when things happen in our life, when things go wrong, it's not a sign for you to say, okay, what more can I do? What more can I do? Because that is great. We do, when you want more in life, yes, sometimes you do need to put in more effort. You do need to put in more energy. You do need to do the things to make it work. For example, if you're building a business, if you're doing anything, you need to put in the work. But you've also got to put in the work with yourself. And sometimes that means taking some time off just to really sit there and think about what you really want. Are all these hard days that you're going through really worth it for what you're looking for what you're wanting in life? And it's really important here at this phase to really think about what your core values are. What is it that you want in life? Some people work hard because they just want lots of money. Some people work hard because they want to have time with the kids. Some people, their goal in life is just to be comfortable and to travel and to do nice things. Well, if that's your goal, to travel and just do nice things, then is what you're doing in your everyday life matching up with that? So that's what I'm getting at here. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to have this perfect social media glamorous life. Because even those people that you look on social media and appear to have the most glamorous life, there is always another side to it. You just don't see that. They don't need to share the negative stuff. They don't want to put negative stuff out to the into the world. So they don't want to put that energy out there. They don't want to focus on it, which is not necessarily a bad thing unless they're being unrealistic with what they're sharing with the good stuff. You want to be authentic is what I'm getting at. And you can still be authentic and share good stuff and not necessarily always talk about the negative stuff. So what I'm getting at here in this episode is just a reminder to don't be so hard on yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to have this glamorous, perfectly designed, created lifestyle. It's okay to have those shit days. It's okay to say, I am fucking exhausted and I can't do this. I just need some time off. And that day this week, when I gave myself a little day off, my daughter said to me this morning, Mum, can I stay home with you and we can have a fun day together? And I thought, yeah, okay, that'd be nice. But you know what? We've just been on holidays together. And that's partly why I'm exhausted. We've been on holidays together. I spent so much hours driving because it was like a 4-hour drive. And then I got sick and it was just a lot. And there was things that happened on that little road trip that really emotionally and mentally drained me. And there's a whole lot of other things that's going on in my world. And for those of you that have been listening, I've got all this dental fraud disaster that I'm still dealing with. I'm dealing with investigators and all that's happening behind the scenes. It's a lot and it's draining. It sucks the life out of you. And sometimes you just need to step back and say, I'm clocking off for the day. I am clocking off. And if you have a co-parent that is cooperative, use them. Just say, listen, can you have the kids for an extra day? You need to look after you, and you need to really think about, what is it that you want in life? Where are your priorities? Are you getting so exhausted and run down for things that you're not even passionate about doing? And if that's the case, why are you doing that? Because that's what life is all about, doing what lights us up. And if you are feeling exhausted, you're not feeling lit up, you're not feeling passionate about anything that you do, then this is my reminder to tell you just to stop. Stop. Because like I said at the beginning, there is such a pressure on society today to keep going. There is such a pressure to make people believe that if you do stop, you're a failure. That if you ask for help, you're a failure. That if you can't do it all, you're a failure. I'm here to tell you, no, you're not a failure for wanting help. You're not a failure for stopping. You're not a failure because it has got too much. It is just you, and it's exhausting and it's draining. And you do need to stop. And sometimes you do need to ask for help. So this is your reminder just to realize that you're going to have shit days. Everything in existence has an opposite. You have good times, you have bad times. And when those bad times do happen, it's not about constantly scrambling to fix it. It's about surrendering to what's happening, listening to what's happening. So instead of thinking, okay, this is happening, it's shit, I don't like it, how can I fix it? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? It's about actually listening to yourself, listening to your body, listening to what's happening and go, okay, I surrender. I can't do anything more. This has happened. I'm not going to get the shits about it. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to panic. I surrender. I'm just going to take some time out now and I'm just going to accept it. And I'm just going to process what's happening. Because you don't need to constantly fix things. And that's the thing that is ingrained in us today, that everything has to be up to perfection. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You don't have to have a perfectly cleaned house. You don't have to have all your washing folded and put away as soon as you take it off the clothesline. Because I can tell you right now, because we've just recently been away on holidays, I've literally got 3 loads of washing in a washing basket sitting on my kitchen table. And I've been looking at it every day going, ugh, I just do not want to fold that and put it away. I will get to it at some point. But at the moment, I'm just like, we can just get clean clothes from there for now. And that's just it. You don't have to keep going just to have this perfectly styled house when you may not even have any visitors. So who cares if you don't have everything in order and looking perfect? Who cares if the dishes are not done? Who cares if you don't have the energy to make your bed? Mind you, that is one thing that I do every day, because I know that just looking in your bedroom and your bed's made, it just makes you feel so much better. Well, for me, that's one thing that I like to do that does make me feel better. And getting into a made bed at nighttime is so much nicer. So really, I just want you to remember, please stop striving for perfection every single day. I mean, it's great to have a few things in life that are going great. It's great to have good times in life. It's great to have things that are going well. It's great to be in a job that you really love. It's great to be in a relationship that really lights you up. But sometimes in life, we don't have all of those things at the same time. And when that's the case for you, I don't want you to be hard on yourself. I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to keep blaming yourself or thinking to yourself that you've failed because you don't have it all together. Because you're never going to have it all together. There's always going to be new challenges that arise. There's always going to be something new that comes up that we have to tackle. It's not about having it all together and having the perfect life with everything perfect all at once. It's about how you get through it, accepting it when it comes along, and not letting it consume you and not letting it get you down. And most importantly, not believing in the fact that you've failed because something bad has happened. Things are going to happen in life at all stages, whether you're young, whether you're an older adult, whether you're repartnered, whether you're still single, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be shit that happens in life. So when those days do happen, I want you to remember that it's normal. These things are going to happen. We all have shit days. If you can, take some time off and just step back from everything. If you can't, maybe just in the evening, in the shower, in the bath, whatever, give yourself a moment just to really say, okay, what's happening here? What is going on? Instead of just being hard on yourself thinking, fuck, I'm over this. I'm sick of my life. I'm sick of this job. I'm sick of this relationship, or whatever your situation is. Instead of being so hard on yourself thinking, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it, I'm sick of it. Step back and just say, okay, what's happening? What is happening? I understand not everything can be good all the time. This is a shit time. I know I'm going to get through it. I'm clearly meant to learn something from whatever I'm going through right now. And that's one thing I'm a big believer in life. When something bad is going on for you, you are being taught a lesson of some sort. Whether that be that you should be more confident in yourself, whether that be that you're prioritizing something that you shouldn't be, whether that be you just need to give yourself time to rest. Maybe it's telling you you need to start looking after you. Whatever that lesson is, there is always something that's happening in our life when something goes wrong that we can take away from that situation. So instead of being hard on yourself thinking, okay, how can I fix this? How can I make it better? When something happens, just stop and go, okay, what is happening? What can I take away from this? Because that is the biggest thing when things happen in life, especially with relationships, when people break up, instead of actually stepping back and going, okay, that was really crap. I didn't like that, but what can I take away from that? It's quite common for people just to overlook that stage and just go, okay, didn't like it. You're done. See you later. Instead of actually allowing yourself to think about the breakup, think about the relationship, think about your role in that situation. Is there anything you can do differently? And the same thing when something happens in your life that doesn't go your way. Okay, what's happening? What can I take away from this? Is there something I can do? Is there a way I can manage this differently? Is there something I need to maybe stop doing? Is there something I need to let go of? There is always something we can take away from a shitty situation that happens in our life. But the main point of this episode is to remember that when shit does happen, when a lot of crap starts happening and a lot of bad things happen, don't scramble to try and fix everything. Don't scramble to change everything and just put a Band-Aid on the situation. Just stop and look at what's happening. And most importantly, don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't think that you're a failure because you're having a bad time in life. And maybe that could be financially. Maybe that could be romantically. Maybe that could be with your job. Maybe you're just mentally and emotionally not in a good headspace at the moment. I can tell you now, not everything in life is permanent. You will get through this stage. But constantly trying to sweep it under the carpet, constantly trying to pretend like it's not existing, constantly trying to rush to fix things or to cover it up is not going to make it better. And just remember, when it's just you on your own as a single parent, it is even more so overwhelming because you can't vent to someone, you can't talk to someone, you can't just let it out. So remind yourself just to step back and give yourself a break. Because you are doing a lot. And when you constantly keep trying to fix things, when you constantly keep trying to push harder, when something bad is happening, it's automatic thought pattern to fix it, fix it, fix it. What can I do to make it better? What can I do to make it better? Instead of actually looking at what is happening, what is going on. So just give yourself a break. Don't be hard on yourself. And if you need a day where you can just clock off and you're able to do that, maybe if it means taking a mental health day from work, chucking a sickie, doing what you can to say, I need a break. I'm exhausted and I just need to stop. And when you do have one of those days, and if you do, which hopefully you do not spend that day doing washing or housework or cooking or cleaning or fixing your car or mowing the lawns. Have a day where you do nothing. And in my little day where I did nothing, I went for my morning beach walk, I went and had a foot massage, and I'm actually spending the afternoon recording this podcast, but it's now nearly 4:00 in the afternoon. So I've had most of the day doing absolutely nothing. I've just spent the whole day on me, just unwinding. Oh, and I even took myself out for morning tea. I had a little coffee and a cake this morning on my own, which was nice. I usually just get a takeaway coffee, but sometimes I like to just sit in and have one on my own and just clock off. And that's what I did today. That was my day. My beach walk, my coffee, my foot massage. Nice. And if you can do that for yourself, go and do it without any pressure of answering work emails, answering calls, without having to follow up on any bills or any paperwork that you need to get back. Just stop. And that's where I was at today. I had so much I needed to do, so many emails. I got things I need to get back to people. And I'm like, I'm exhausted. I'm just stopping and I'll get back to you all tomorrow. And that's what I want you to remember, that it is okay to stop. There is no expectations to get back to people straight away. It's not the end of the world if you don't respond to an email or a text message or get back to someone straight away. You need to sometimes stop and put yourself first. And sometimes it may need, people can wait for that. And that's okay, because you matter. Your emotional and mental health matters. And that shows how you turn up for your kids too. When you're exhausted, when you're drained, when you're tired, when you're running on empty, you're not going to show up for your kids in the best way. Give yourself a break and realize it's okay to stop. You're not a failure when things go to the shit. And when things do go to the shit, stop trying to rush to fix it. Stop trying to rush to put a Band-Aid on it. Actually look at what is happening and think about, is there something different that you can do? Is there something different that you can change or something you can let go of? Is there a different way you can learn to manage it instead of getting so worked up and freaked out and panicked about it? It's happened. You can't change it. So I've just got to accept it. All right. So that was your little TED talk for me today, just to realize that you're not a failure when shit happens. And it's not the end of the world. And most importantly, allow yourself time to stop. You need that you time. You need time just to really mentally and emotionally unwind. And some people think, yeah, I get to stop at night watching TV. But are you really stopped? Because quite often when we stop at night and watch TV, you might be paying a bill. You might be helping the kids with their homework or with their reading. You might be thinking about what you're going to cook for dinner tomorrow night. You might be doing things, work on your phone or something. But that's not switching off. You're still going. You're still mentally clicking over. You're still doing things. Stop and just totally let go of any responsibility and just give yourself time to unwind. All right. That's it from me today, guys. And I hope you got something from this episode, and allow yourself time just to and unwind. All right, thanks, guys. That's it. And just a reminder, if you do want to have a little chat, if you do want to have any questions, I do have that question and answer session. It's not a heavy deep dive session. It's just if you feel like you're in a bit of a better place, but you have a few questions. And social media is a shitty place to ask those questions because, one, they just attack you. They're full of anonymous comments, and most of them just don't know what they're talking about. And there's no gender bashing here. There is no judgment. There is no hate. It's a very neutral place where you can come and have a little chit chat if that's where you're at. So jump onto my show notes below. All the details are there to book in for a chat, and is that free one-on-one chat to get you started if that's where you're interested in, I should say. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for jumping onto this little bonus episode, and until next time, I'll be in your ears then.